Hello again, everyone. That's my full name right there, Brandon Ayoma Oto Bamiano Single Parson. So, I'm honored to come over to this one because I noticed y'all had a world map here. So my country, Tanzania, is this one right here. Okay, screen, yeah. And so my flag, it matches like what I'm wearing right now because I just want to embrace my culture and have y'all like know a little bit more about me through it. So Karibu means welcome in Kiswahili. So this first slide is about the nature, right? So going from right to left, I have Serengeti National Park. So this is where the Great Migration occurs, where all the animals that y'all probably know, like rhinos, elephants, lions, they travel between there and you can like go see them. And then Mount Kilimanjaro is the tallest mountain in Africa, and it's made up of 3 volcanic cones. So it used to be a volcano, but right now it's just stagnant. And then we have the Ngorongoro crater. That's how you pronounce that. Ngorongoro crater. Yeah, the words are like different with the phonetics, but I'll get more into language later. And it's the world's largest inactive, unbroken, and unfiltered volcanic caldera. And it's a great place to see the big 5, which are the animals listed right there. And then we have Lake Victoria, which is the largest lake in Africa by area and the world's largest tropical lake. So referencing this map again, it's actually the lake that you can see right here on the map, right in between Tanzania, Kenya, and Uganda, which I have listed as well here. So yeah, Lake Victoria is here. Very good lake too. And it was named after Queen Victoria in 1850. Next we have the educational slide. So we have primary school, secondary school, and college. So in primary school, your students are aged from 7 to 13. So this is kind of like similar to American middle school and elementary school. So they're learning Swahili and then translating it to English. So they get that international aspect and be able to come here just like my parents did for me. And they're categorized in standard 1 to standard 7. And now we have secondary school where students are aged 14 to 17. So this is more like high school, kind of like how we're at Cookeville High School right now. You know, I don't know if any of y'all are like above 17, maybe some of y'all are 18. But there you go. There we go. So we have O levels, which are ordinary levels, which is Form 1 to Form 4, and then A levels, which is Form 5 to Form 6. So these are like advanced. So I know like in America, there's like AP, there's Interbaccalaureate. That's kind of like what A levels is for Tanzania. And then we have college where students are in their 20s. So for the 3-year programs, you have your arts, your social sciences, your business, and your law. And your 4-year programs are your engineering, which is me, your agriculture, and your pharmacy. And the 5 years is medical and dental. Next, we have clothing. This is so important because me, you know, that's me right now, actually. That's so funny. So we have kitenge, we have formal attire, and we have our kanga. So these are our kanga, like the traditional clothing that the women wear as well. And as you can see, it's represented in West Africa too. But see, Tanzania is east, so referencing the map again, I love this map so much. So Tanzania is here and Nigeria is here. So you can see this route, like you would have to go through Cameroon, Central, the DRC, and then Tanzania. So a lot of things become shared, and we're able to take that cultural relevance and apply it to all of Africa, not just one country. And so the clothes, they hold strong cultural meaning, right? Red represents our bravery and our strength. Blue represents the sky and energy. Green represents land and prosperity. And yellow and orange represent hospitality and friendship. So going off, wait, can you go back please? Sorry, I went too fast. So going off this metric, I guess you could say that I have energy, prosperity, and sky, because you know, the green, the red, and the blue. And this, like, it corresponds to my flag as well. This bracelet right here, you wouldn't believe me, it hasn't come off my wrist for 2 years, bro. Like, actually, you can't take it off. Like, try to take it off. See, I'm telling you, you can't take it off. It's like bonded to my skin. Because in having a flag that represents your country and your culture, it's so impactful to take that everywhere you go. And I'm looking at this room and I'm seeing the diversity in it. And it's so like, you know, just good to my heart to just know that we have different people that can convene in one space. So then we have our wildlife. So fun fact, in the Lion, how many of y'all watched the Lion King? Raise your hand. Okay, it's like the whole room. So the names of the characters in the Lion King actually correspond to an English word from Swahili. So Simba actually means lion. See, but I don't know if any of y'all knew that though. Nala means gift, Mufasa means king, Pumbaa means foolish, Shenzi means savage, and Sarabi means mirage. So there's a difference between me saying Simba, Simba, and Simba, Simba. You see what I'm saying? Nala, Nala, Rafiki, Rafiki. So the phonetic pronunciation of the Swahili is what makes the characters' names unique and what gives them their translations. And of course, all these different animals, I'm sure y'all are familiar with as well. So then we got religion. Now this one, there's a lot of numbers here. I know many of y'all probably don't like math since this is a history class. But essentially, Christianity is the largest religious group there. They're split up between Catholics and Protestants, including Lutherans, Anglicans, and Pentecostals. So let me just give a little bit of history. So like, the Catholic Church in Europe was sort of the first church that was there. And then the Protestants split off, and then that led into different denominations forming, and some of them had missionaries which traveled from Europe down to Africa, and that's how the religion spread to sort of the lower regions. Islam is 34%, and it's the second largest speaking group, in the majority being Sunni, and the minorities being the Shia, the Ahmadiyya, and the Ibadi communities. So mostly North Africa is where you'll find Islam, because of this route that connects from the Middle East. Oh, I almost tripped, that's funny. The Middle East to Egypt. And so, like your Egypt, your Algeria, your Liberia, your Morocco, right? Even like Somalia right here. And then, of course, traditional African religions will always exist because of the religious beliefs that the indigenous people have and sort of like how they're culturally connected together. And then a fun fact is most of mainland Tanzania is Christian, but the coastal regions are Muslim because Zanzibar is like completely an island off the coast. You can't really see it on the map, but it's that little dot right there. So yeah. And now we have music. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of y'all listen to music, so maybe I'm able to give y'all some influence right here. You know what I'm saying? We have the national anthem, of course, like sort of like every country has their own national anthem, and so we have one there as well. And then choirs, with my favorite being the Kurasini SDA choir. We have music artists, so Diamond Platinums, he literally has like millions of followers on Instagram. It's crazy. He's kind of like, okay, how do I put this into perspective? I guess you could say he's like the Kendrick Lamar of Tanzania. That's the best way to describe him. And then Amapiano is sort of like the genre of that upbeat Afrobeat type music that y'all would know and listen to. So yeah, the 4 categories right there. And then of course we have like these traditional drums, the djembe, conga, and stuff like that, where you have that cultural relevance in the music. And now we have languages. So language. The biggest thing that people know about Africa. So the main language of Tanzania is Swahili, spoken by over 90% of the population. So like me saying Mungu awabariki, that means God bless you, right? Because I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy that Miss Shayla invited me to this world history class. It's the first time I'm at Cookeville High School. So I'm very thankful for y'all for hosting me. So asante sana. Thank you so much. Then we have indigenous and ethnic religions and tribes. So nearly 90% of Tanzanians speak an indigenous language, our mother tongue. So if I have an example here as Luo, that's what my parents speak. So that's sort of the one that's next to Lake Victoria, as I was saying in the beginning, where in Tanzania, Kenya, and Uganda, like migrating around that lake, they'll use that to find them as one. And then we have Arabic as well, spoken by less than 1% of the mainland population because of the Muslim influence. So I could say Salam Alaikum, peace be upon you, Arabic. And then the largest city in Tanzania is Dar es Salaam. And you wouldn't think like, oh, that's an Arabic word, but no, it is actually Arabic. It means house of peace. Dar es Salaam. Dar, house, Salam, peace. So yeah. And now we have our tribes. So there's 120 to 130 distinct ethnic groups with over 95% of the population originating from Bantu-speaking tribes, which are mostly in Central Africa. The tribes are deeply rooted in traditional, maintaining rich oral history, unique ceremony, diverse livelihood, and they range from nomadic to agricultural lifestyles. The most known tribe is the Maasai with their red robes and high jumping ability. So The Maasai tribe, how do I say? How many of y'all, like, are y'all familiar with I Shall Speak? No? Yeah, y'all are? Okay, so literally in his Africa tour, he went to Kenya, and he was with the Maasai, like those people that wear the red, and they have the sticks and they jump really high, to do the, bless you, to do the traditional, like, ceremonies that they have. So yeah, the tribes hold cultural relevance. There we go. And then this y'all's favorite slide right here, the food. I know some of y'all hungry, you know, it's early in the morning. I see a lot of drinks on the table. So we have ugali, chapati, samosa, mandazi, pilau, and yamachoma. So ugali is similar to West African like fufu. Y'all probably heard that way more. So like fufu. Our equivalent is ugali, this dough you see right here. Chapati is the flatbread right there. We share it with India, and a lot of Middle Eastern countries actually have chapati. So some of you might know what that is already. Samosa is another one that's shared with Asia, where you just take like a wrap of dough and then you put in like meat, vegetable, onion, pepper, whatever you want in there, wrap it up, fry it, and it turns out really well like that. And it's triangle-like shape. And then mandazi is sort of similar to like the beignets they have in France, where it's a ball of dough and like you can put sugar on it, you can put sugar in it, and things like that. Pilau is similar to the West African jollof rice. We call it pilau rice, right? So that one right there. And then yamachoma is just cut up meat. So these to y'all is probably like shish kebabs. You know what I'm saying? But it's called yamachoma. Nyama means meat. And now we have our sports, you know what I'm saying? So this word, we're done with this word. It's not called soccer, it's called football. Football. It's not called soccer, it's called football. So as y'all know, the World Cup is happening this year. And so sadly, I mean, Tanzania is not in it. So we're rooting for South Africa, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. But I don't know, I see some Ronaldo fans, I see some Messi fans here and there. Yeah. So then we have, of course, basketball, boxing, running, and bow, which is the traditional East African game. So this one right here, where you have your pebbles and you have a wooden board, and so you're trying to get them to the next spot before the other person, but y'all do it like turn-based, and so it can be very complicated, but that's like a whole nother conversation. Did you sneeze? I was gonna say bless you, I'm sorry, I'm just very like, acts like that. And so, yeah, like here, even one of our sprinters made it to the Olympics, so I was very proud to see that representation of that culture, and so that's what I can say on this slide. Asante sana, Cookeville High School, thank you so much for having me here. God bless you all, and Mungu awabariki.